Legionaries of the Lariat! Welcome back to another episode of I Still Call It a Lariat. I am your host, Michael Wryght. With me, as always, is Zapf, and today we are reviewing Clash in Paris. Bonjour, Steven.
Bonjour.
How's it going, bud?
Voulou Vushu K. I don't know how to say it. I don't know what I'm saying. It's good.
The nerve.
I feel a little disappointed being an American at this point because our crowds need to step up their game.
I'm just saying, I walked through with that too. Be better. These French crowds.
I feel like every crowd is Albany now.
Yeah, they all feel Albany after watching the French.
Yeah, every crowd feels like TNA Albany after watching some of these shows in the UK.
This was in the UK, so
I'm sorry, in Europe. Sorry, I also reviewed Progress in the UK, and then last week was Forbidden Door in the UK. So
your American geography is showing, Steven. Careful.
It is. So European crowds are just putting us to shame.
Yeah, the Saudi crowd kind of feels similar energy to the American ones, even sub the American crowds. The European ones are just on a whole nother level. It's insane.
It's just another day at a football match.
Something like that. All singing songs, all that excitement. I wish I could tell you what they were saying, but as those of you that know me, or I mentioned on this show, I'm the worst at understanding what crowds are chanting, and when it's in a different language, I am even worse. So I have no idea. It was just white noise to me. Loud white noise.
Not like Seamus white noise, like actual white noise.
Not the same. Steven, what did you think of this card overall?
I thought overall it was good. I think there's certain things that saved this card a bit. I think the matches were good. I think this was an adequate show. I think the crowd helped. I think the fact that they gave it a really cool set design. I love the set design of this one. I texted you that.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of the first times that we've seen a really unique set design in a minute, and I liked it. But all around, I think they went out on their last show for Peacock, or their last PLE for Peacock, pretty well. I think they did. I think this was a respectable end to their run with Peacock.
I would have liked to have seen something special.
I would have
a title change, something that you didn't expect, a return of somebody from nowhere, just something a little bit better. This was pretty nuts and bolts, and we'll get to it. And I'm not talking down about this. This was just a generic B PLE in Europe with that crowd being so hot. If it wasn't for if this was in Albany, I think we would have had a little bit of a less of opinion on this. And TNA Albany, I'm sure that the WWE fans in Albany are fantastic people. But let's jump into. I really wanted to talk about this one. Outside of them taking an eternity to start this match, I was actually a really big fan of Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed. It gave me the nostalgia vibes. I don't know if they caught you like that, Steven. This was an old school match between these two guys. I was expecting to see Sting versus Flair after this, or the NWA logo to pop up. Funk and Dusty are coming up later. The AWA kind of style of it. That's what this match felt like. It was good. There was wrestling in it. I would have liked to have seen it start off with a little bit more heat. Bronson Reed's been jumping Roman Reigns, stealing the Shula Fala or whatever you want to call it, and then they start with a lockup. That wasn't really the heat that they had built towards it, but I appreciated the match in the microcosm of the match, and I was just a really big fan of it. I think that they gave Bronson Reed the right heat. He was a monster for a while in this, beating down Roman, and I'll tell you what, this is the exact when we talk about the fumble that was Cena's heel turn, this what I'm seeing with Roman right here is exactly what we want for Cena right now. Like he was so over. Like he's still a bad guy. Like I'm not changing. The fans are heels. Bronson Reed, bigger bad guy at this point in time. But the like him like playing to the crowd and them acknowledging him and all of the bells and whistles that went with it, like he is so incredibly over. You'd think that, like, looking at this, I know it's Paris, looking at this, you would think that he was the number one babyface in the company, and he's nowhere near that.
No, yeah, no. Roman Reigns is currently in the middle of his Roman Reigns cycle.
Yeah.
He gets jumped by heels, gets injured, and spends weeks away. Comes back, does a few televisions, does a big PLE, gets jumped by heels again, goes away. Yep.
Yeah, that's his MO right now. He's off. He's in the hospital, in one of those boards on Street Fighter. You know, the backgrounds. Isn't there one of them have like a little ambulance or something like that?
I think so.
I think there's one that's kind of like that. I can't remember exactly what it was, but that's where he is right now. He is. He's not Akira. What's his character's name? That he's playing? Akuma. That was the Street Fighter games I didn't really play. I played the original quite a bit.
I'm surprised how many wrestlers are in this movie from both companies.
I'm actually not, because I think the wrestling industry changed fighting in movies. Like and I think that where it happened was the Expendables. The Expendables, right? That's Sylvester Stallone and
yes,
and all
that's all the.
When Austin was in there, and he was one of the bad guys, and you were kind of watching. All of a sudden, like the fight sequences were just kind of like the highlights of a match. And I think you can go back. That's where I first noticed it. Maybe it did happen beforehand, but you can kind of see fight choreography change from there. And so having a whole fight movie come in here, if you can add like the martial arts choreography, I can't get that word right today. Get that along with the skill set that these wrestlers bring, I think you're going to get some really cool fights.
I'll agree with that. But Kenny Omega is Sagat? That one throws me off a little bit.
We'll see how it goes. I don't know. We were just talking before we came on. I don't love Cody as Guile. But we'll see what they turn into. I haven't really seen too much on this movie. I haven't looked into it. I haven't seen any of the test imagery or anything like that. So I'm sure that they'll do it. There's no way it's worse than the original, though. I absolutely love the original.
Yeah, like there's also no way it's better than the original.
It's bad. Like the original is bad. But Raj Gulia, not Raj Gulia. What's his name? Raul Gulia. I'm mixing everybody up. Sorry, guys. My names are all over the place. He just chewed the scenes in that movie like crazy. Absolutely. He reminds me of Alan Rickman in Prince of Thieves, another terrible movie, but every time he was on, he was fantastic. And Jean-Claude Van Damme, that white bread American hero that he is, but look like Guile. So I get that.
Look like Guile.
Look like Guile. Sorry, tangent there, though related, but tangent. This ended this match with Roman Reigns and Bronson Reed exactly how we expected it to. He went over. He was pandering to the crowd and gets absolutely decimated by Braun Breaker. Saw that coming. I texted you. I don't know if you saw that. Braun Breaker definitely hurt himself on that table spear. I originally thought that he tore a tricep, but I think it was a stinger. If you go back and look at that, you can
I
kind of
think
see
so too,
him.
because he was on the next night, so like he's
Yeah, but you can like if you do it right, you can wrestle with a torn tricep. Like it's incredibly painful. But I
I'm
think it was
sure.
a stinger. The way he was grabbing at his arm, and if you just see, he was like prolonged sitting there uh, after he speared Reigns, and like didn't get up, and he had a hard time getting up. And I think that might be because his entire body was filled with pins and needles, which I think is what you feel when you get a stinger. I've never had one.
I could see that, or as I mentioned this in the review of Forbidden Door, it could have been a situation of, because that motion, that coming down like that is the perfect opportunity to hurt your shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, as a guy who has torn his labrum, that dead arm is exactly what happens when you tear a labrum. Like,
Yeah,
it's not forever. And honestly, it doesn't always dislocate, but it's also one of those things that it does dislocate. It like slides out and slides back in on its own type of situation. And when it slides back in, it's actually stronger for the next few minutes than it was originally. It takes it a few minutes to get back to. So it could have been like at a worst case scenario, it could have been a situation like that. In a best case scenario, it was a stinger. He
stinger.
you know he
That's my
got
guess.
he might even got his bell rung for a minute, and it was in a weird spot.
Because you could tell on his face, I think he thought he was actually hurt. And then, like, he left, he went in the back. I don't think they were supposed to leave ringside. I think that onslaught was supposed to continue, but he had to get out of there. He shook it off, and it came flying out of nowhere. One of the spots that I really enjoyed in this match, I forgot to mention it when we were talking about it as well, was they really did a good job showing Bronson Reed as a force of nature kind of thing. And I was curious on your opinion here, Steve. When Roman was trying to clothesline Bronson Reed out of the ring, he had to do it twice
and not be able to get him over the top rope.
Yeah, like he couldn't get him over the top rope. The first time came back and got him over. Was that a botched spot, or do you think that was on purpose to show how big of a monster he is? Because if it's the latter, that's like a brilliant spot.
I think it's a happy accident. I don't want to go as far as to say it was a botched spot, because a botch would say that everything got screwed up and it didn't look, even when he came back for the second time, it didn't look right. Like he
Okay.
like I'll go as far as to be it was a misstep. Roman didn't come through with as much momentum as he should have for the first one, and then got the second one. With that said, like I said, it's a happy accident. It makes Bronson look like that monster that he is.
They had already been working that he couldn't pick him up for the Samoan drop. They had already been working that. I want to say I'm going to live in bliss on my side that they did that on purpose. Really, just to show how big that he was, because I think they're smart enough to put a spot in there like that. Like, how do I make you feel bigger? I can't even toss you out with one throw.
I wouldn't be surprised, especially with the amount of input that obviously you would be getting from Heyman during this match. That feels kind of like it kind of feels like a Heyman spot.
Yeah, it sure does. I didn't put that together, but it definitely does. Who's also in the hospital now? Poor Paul.
Is Heyman also in Street Fighter?
I doubt it. He could be the scientist that makes Blanca. Like, I could see him being that guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, Blanca.
Blanca. So overall, I really like this match. We both had Roman Reigns to win. If you guys watched the prediction show, Steven and I chose everything the same. So that's going to be a recurring thing. I still won in principle, but say la vie. There it is.
La vie.
The next match we had was for the WWE Tag Team titles. We had the Wyatt Six versus the Street Profits. And this match went exactly the way we thought it would. That's going to be the common occurrence here on this entire card because it was
Kind of a
just
predictable card.
kind of like they just ran through the numbers.
Now,
White 6 versus Street Profits. There's some great spots in this. It was hard hitting, and I mean, I enjoyed the match. But
I like the I will say this: I like the Street Profits entrance, the Borderlands one, right? Isn't that what they did? Borderlands, I think it is.
I think so.
So I like that. I'm gonna ask you this, Showtime, because both teams. Let me change that. Montez Ford felt like he was switching over to heel during the match. It felt like
between the two of them.
Yeah, it felt like he was doing the stuff that he's been teasing. At the end of the match, though, that's a heel finish. The Wyatt Six, like, are they officially going to start transitioning the Wyatts? Like, is that why? I don't want to be the guy who's like, well, this is kind of genius the way they did it, but they neutered them in the very beginning as baby faces. They had them go after guys that there was no reason for them to go after. To now, if you transition them to heels, this should be a heel team. Bray, over the most part of his career, was a heel. He just happened to, resonate the right way. Do we start seeing this transition more into the Wyatt Six being an actual heel faction, starting to use the numbers more, starting to just, oh, they're about to lose. Okay, well, now all the other 4 members of the team are or the other 3 members of the team are gonna jump in there and beat the crap out of somebody.
I think you have to. I mean, that's what they're built for. Like these guys are not built for a face group. Their leader is a man in this spooky mask, and men in masks cannot be trusted. Like I just don't.
Well played.
Yeah, I do what I can. The whole faction, a bunch of creepy goons that lurk in the shadows. I don't know why them being a face ever made any sense whatsoever. You can pull it off if they're the voice of the forgotten, the downtrodden, and all of what they're kind of doing. But honestly, those people don't exist in WWE right now.
No,
like,
and they haven't been that.
No,
In what a year now.
They were trying. That's what they were trying to go for, or target the people that betrayed family. That whole kind of spin on it, but there wasn't enough of that. And like I said, I love using the Judgment Day as an example of, like, it's like when you walk into that dystopian future, and they're the ones behind the gate, the fence, like the steel fence, banging on it as you walk through the doors, and like you find out that they were actually the nicest ones that you're going to see throughout this whole thing. Like that's how the whole WWE feels at this point in time. And there's just not a place for that. So like, let them go weird. Like, let them be weird. Let them be nefarious. Figure out what to do with them, because you can't just have 2 people be the tag team champions and 3 people or 4 people hanging out on the back end.
3
people,
3 or 4.
right now, right?
It's 3 people right now.
Yeah, it's right now. It's 3, but I'm sure there'll be somebody new that comes into it or something like that. So that's just my take on your question there. But yeah, like, they just, honestly, it doesn't matter. They just need to figure out what to do with them, because there's a lot of talent there, and there's a lot of really good storyline there. And I would just like to see something out of them.
Anything.
Have Karrion come back and join and lead them. You wouldn't be able to do that. You saw Bray there. Yeah, Uncle Howdy.
Yeah.
Not Bray.
I have my own theory on what is going to happen with Mr. Cross, whether they go through with it or not. I don't want to voice it because, one, it'll seem as though I possibly have insider information. I do not. But also, if I voice it, they might not do it.
It's fair. It's exactly what someone who knows what's going to happen would say. You're suspect. I'm on to you, Steven.
I'll let you know after the show.
Anything else you wanted to add for this match?
No, like we said, this match, it had some cool hard hitting spots. It had some cool athletic spots.
Yeah, it was great. It was a good match.
It was a good match. I don't see a world where, as of late, the Street Profits have turned in very good performances.
Yeah.
I think the issue with the tag team division is between the two shows, it's the same 6 teams basically. We need we need some. Honestly, what they need is even some makeshift tag teams at this point. They need some guys that are thrown together, which might happen as of later. Who knows?
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that in a minute. Yeah, I hear that. I think they just need to tighten up the tag division. I feel like SmackDown has all the. Honestly, this match could have easily been the main event of SmackDown. You could have switched the Sami Zayn Solo Sikoa match to here, and like that would have probably made this card better. Just because, like, then you had that title change, something exciting to go down with it. That's all.
I agree.
Next, we have for the women's Intercontinental title, which was this a close one? It was not. We have Becky Lynch, the champion, up against Nikki Bella. Steven, what did you think about this match?
I feel like this is going to be a recurring theme. This match went exactly how we said it would.
It went exactly where we said it would.
we said Becky Lynch was probably going to have to do heavy lifting. And let me clarify. I'm not saying that Nikki necessarily had a terrible showing, but how many matches in the last, let's say, 3 or 4 years has Nikki Bella wrestled? How many singles how many matches? Period. It's a handful over the last few years since she left WWE full time. So now that she's back full time, it's, she's had a couple tag team matches. I think she's only had maybe one singles match in there. There's not a whole lot to what she's done. It's, ring rust is a real thing. You have to be in the ring in order to keep your timing. That's really what ring rust is you lose track of your timing and stuff like that. I think a little bit of it was more than that. I would have liked to have seen the physicality be a little more vicious, just a scotch. The parts where Nikki was really kind of taking it to Becky, I think could have been a little bit harder hitting. But again, I think that comes down to ring rust more than anything. I think her footwork and her timing was just a little off in this, and Becky was carrying the load, so to speak.
She was carrying this match. Nikki is older. She's been away. There's no reason why your potentially best wrestling talent in the division wouldn't be the one running this thing. That's why it was so easy to predict the way this match was going to go down. No way was she losing this. It was a moderately entertaining match. Like, honestly, I think it's probably the worst on the card. Close to. It was, honestly, I think that there was 2 really good matches on this card, and then the rest of it kind of just fits in the middle. Like there wasn't a bad match. I wouldn't call this bad. Wouldn't call this good. It was there. Some reason they needed to make sure that Nikki Bella was on this card. So we'll see. Moving on to the Donnybrook match.
The good old-fashioned Donnybrook match.
Yeah, good old-fashioned Donnybrook. You have whiskey barrels and shillelaghs and kendo sticks, all the things you'd expect to find in an Irish pub. We had Sheamus versus Rusev in this match. And again, this went exactly the way we thought it would. I mean, this one, like, I don't want to take as much credit. It was written there. It's a barroom brawl-esque match. These guys beat the crap out of each other. I absolutely loved Rusev turning around the what do they call it when
the 10 beats of the Bowery.
Yeah. So I loved him doing it to Sheamus. Like, it never makes sense for someone else to do that to Sheamus. It really never does. Rusev. It made sense for Rusev to do it. It was great. This is hard hitting. These guys just beat the crap out of each other the entire time. Um, Rusev won. We thought he would. It's exactly the way it went down.
Have you seen the memes for this with them standing on top of the whiskey barrels? And they're like, man, that new Cracker Barrel logo is going hard.
No, I haven't not seen that. That's great. That's great.
Man, I like this. So Sheamus posted after this match too a picture of his back after getting beat to crap by a shillelagh and a kendo stick, and it literally said, "Well, I asked for him to be back, and I got what I asked for." So this also goes along with this idea of a makeshift tag team. Sheamus and we said this during the preview. Sheamus and Rusev as a tag team would be very interesting. I think that could be a makeshift tag team that I could see going through and actually doing something.
That's what I would like to see, because I think that like, particularly if you look at all the tag teams that we currently have, these guys would stand literally head and shoulders above everybody else. And it would give a nice dynamic. They wouldn't have to win everything, but it would just be a very different archetype to what we have. Almost, I know that the War Raiders are out there, but like these guys are even like substantially
bigger than the War Raiders,
yeah.
And they're built way different than the War Raiders are too.
Yes,
like the War Raiders are just thick dudes. Sheamus is what 6'4", 6'5", 265 of solid muscle. Rusev, it's Rusev Day, man. It's Rusev Day.
Oh, happy Rusev Day.
Happy Rusev Day. I'm glad he won on Rusev Day.
Yeah, I mean, it was nice that he won on Rusev Day.
Big win in Paris on Rusev Day. Bonjour.
Bonjour. Sacre bleu. So, again, another great match. Talking about matches that fit exactly the way we thought it would go. John Cena versus Logan Paul. That's a transition for you. This match went exactly the way we'd expect it to. Some light wrestling in the beginning, a bunch of finisher moves in the back end. I did love seeing Cena hit a Styles Clash. That was fun.
As I got it texted to me, 120 attitude adjustments later, and Cena wins. Which that's accurate. I mean, way to go for Jean-Baptiste Cena.
Yeah, I can't believe he's French. I never saw it coming.
I kind of saw it coming.
This match was exactly what we thought it was. It's funny. I was watching something and they talked about that the person that shared the ring with John Cena the most over his retirement tour is actually Logan Paul. He's been in more matches with Cena, either against or as a tag team, than Cody, than anybody else. The Royal Rumble, this match, the tag match.
That's insane.
It's insane that's what, on the retirement tour of John Cena, I know everyone was clamoring to see him with Logan Paul the most, but that's kind of where we're at.
Obviously. I will say this, at least we're finally at a point where we're getting the John Cena that we wanted out of this. Again, the heel turn no one wanted, and we've kind of just dismissed it. All right, that was that he said he's sorry.
No, Steven, that was the greatest heel turn in wrestling history. Didn't you hear? Didn't everyone try to tell you so many times that that's what it was until you believed?
I had heard something about that, and even beforehand, Hogan was rolling over in his grave, and he wasn't dead yet.
He wasn't dead yet. The same way how the premiere episode on Netflix was bigger than WrestleMania. So, So folks, there's this thing that I'm afflicted with. It's called common sense. and it usually gets in the way of some of this outlandish stuff. I'm sorry if it ruins a little bit of it for you. I really do apologize. But
which
come
is funny.
on.
It's even, and I understand why you're afflicted with this common sense, because the other side of this is your alter ego is a master of slinging bull.
Oh yeah, but it's common sense though. Like you can see through it.
Yeah, like that's the thing is the things you try to sell are exactly the same thing that they're trying to sell. Hence the reason why you know that it's bull.
But if there's truth in there,
Exactly.
that's like when there's no truth, that's just outlandish and ridiculous. And that's where you lose me.
Well, no, I mean, listen, it might not have been the greatest heel turn ever. It was definitely still better than Andre, though, right?
It was nowhere near any of them. It was like a good heel turn. You need to have a strong direction if you're going to do it. And it needs to be something that people either really didn't see coming or really wanted or like in this situation. And no one really wanted it. No one saw it coming. It didn't make any sense.
No. Again, we got this 10 years too late. If this happened in 2020 or in 2014, maybe.
It's just, people wanted to see him then as a heel. People wanted to ride out his last year the same way that they're treating Roman Reigns right now. That's just the mix of it all. So this match was great. Logan Paul had a lot of really good high spots. I think, like, not that he carried Cena, but he helped cover up Cena's deficiencies in this match a bit. Like, just being older. Like, Cena's still brilliant in the ring. The Canadian destroyers that Cena does. Not only is he French, but he's Canadian now too. Like, he
is Canadian. His mother is French Canadian.
From Quebec.
Great fishing in Quebec.
But it went exactly the way we expected it. Except for I did think that we would see Lesnar. It made sense. Maybe that's kind of what it was missing. Not that I was overly excited to see him. But that feels like the piece that was kind of missing from this match was something out of the ordinary, or like whoever Cena's next opponent to be
should have come out.
Should have come in there outside of Brock, like just somebody else. I would love to see the Claymore.
That would have been cool. I would have liked. I know we're probably not going to, who knows, we might not even get to see it, but I would have liked to have seen at the end of all of this, like AJ come out. And even if it's a respect version, like, hey, you still owe me one more dance. Too.
Yeah.
Like, I would have and especially with him hitting the Styles Clash during it. Like, that could have made sense to me. Showtime, what do you think of Logan Paul doing the buckshot lariat, especially considering the fact that it's so prominently used by Hangman? I mean, it's his finisher, but
he's used it before.
He's been using it.
He's been using it.
I'm surprised he actually still uses it because he hurt himself doing it.
I mean, Logan Paul is not the person I would say is scared of doing something ridiculous.
I don't think so, but
it fits his style so well.
It does, and he's my only thing is I don't know if it's just if he's taller than Hangman or what it is. I thought they were about the same size, but the way he flows over, it flows over a little differently. He's like
he's lankier.
He's lankier. Yeah, he's lankier, he's lankier. And I think he's got more leg than torso.
And he's got that triangle.
Yeah,
torso and really long arms.
Really long arms, really long legs. And I think when he flows over, I think that's really what it is I think that's really why he hurt himself, because he hurt his ankle, and I think he hurt his knee at one point doing it. That was when we had heard that like he had the tear in his knee or whatever, and then he was back 2 months later.
Yeah.
But
his normal hiatus.
Yeah. But I think he's I think they plan on using him a lot more. I think this has turned into one of those, like, You either need to give us time or like just assume you're getting used once a year for like WrestleMania or something like that.
Did you hear Michael Cole say that he's a future world champion in this match?
I don't disagree. If he
right now, I don't say it.
Right now, I don't. If he wrestles a full schedule, though, if he starts wrestling a full schedule, I absolutely see it.
Sure,
I hate how good he is at this business, but he's kind of the line of, if you were to create a sports entertainer from the ground up, you come up with Randy Orton. I wouldn't have come up with Logan Paul, but he was made to do this.
If you were 15 years younger, you might have.
Maybe. No, even younger. You need to add like another 10 on there.
25 years younger?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
We're that old, man.
No, we're not. How dare you? This is blonde hair.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Platinum blonde.
It's matching my baby curls. Were you also surprised that Michael Cole dropped Cesaro's name in this match?
A little bit.
I was very surprised that they were like almost acknowledging AEW a little bit more than they had in the past. It's different when they talk about TNA. It's different when they talk about other promotions, but I did not expect the word Cesaro to pop out of his mouth.
So I think who made it okay, and especially for Michael Cole, and this goes back to Michael Cole having, this little soft spot or whatever you want to call it for him. Pat McAfee brought up Moxley at one point. And I think Pat McAfee bringing up Moxley has like, that's one of those things that sits in Michael Cole's brain for the rest of his life. It's like, well, he said John Moxley one time. Oh, it looks like, yeah, let me
keep going.
We lost you for a second. He's back. It's okay.
Yeah,
he's back.
I'm here.
He's still here. All right. So what I was saying though, Showtime, is that Pat McAfee dropped John Moxley's name a while back. And I think that might have a little something to do with it. Like, once you say something, you can now do that. He did say Cesaro, at least. He didn't say Claudio. So there is.
Yeah, he said Cesaro.
So there is a little bit of that. He's just, I don't know. Michael Cole is like hot and cold with me lately. I don't know if he's one of the best or if he's just the guy that's stuck it out anymore.
I just want to stop hearing him being called the GOAT. I know since Pat McAfee's not been around, he hasn't really been called that, but that was driving me crazy. Regardless if he is or not, you don't go over the top, call somebody that has competition the GOAT like that in that moment in time. I don't know. Drives me crazy. I'll get off that one. But I will say I'm absolutely adoring Wade Barrett these days.
I love Wade Barrett.
He's so
good. Wade Barrett and Corey Graves are probably two of my favorite members of commentary right now.
Yeah.
They're my two favorite color guys, I think.
Yeah, and it was great. He was great on this night. It makes sense for him to be there too. Being in Europe, because it's all just in one country, right? It's all the same. There's my American geography come back.
There it is.
Next is the World Heavyweight Title. We have Seth freaking Rollins versus CM Punk versus Jey Uso, Yeet, versus LA Knight, yeah, for the World Heavyweight Title. And yes, I understand who we chose for this match. We did both pick LA Knight because we were trying to will that into existence. But this went exactly the way we thought it would.
It absolutely did. Folks, let's call this what this was. We were manifesting.
Yeah.
We were hoping for what everyone else was hoping for, and that this was going to happen. This was, I mean, I'm not going to say the match was bad.
No, it wasn't. It's fine.
I expected the amount of jamoking that we got out of it. It was what it was. I expected that 2 or 3 of these guys were going to be off doing something else while somebody was not involved in it. Showtime, I said this to you before we came on the air. I'm going to throw this to you now while we're on the air. The overall look, the feel of him now, does it feel like Jey Uso is going to start slipping back down the card a little bit?
I could see it. My response to you earlier was I think they're going to bring him back to Jimmy, and I think we're going to see a little bit more tag teaming right now. And it makes sense with the Braun, or whatever you want to call him these days, to kind of have the Usos versus Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. But I don't think he's out of the world title picture forever.
I don't think so either. It just feels like even the way I had said it was even his gear is not what it was.
I think it's just crowded at the top right now, and there's not a lot of room for people. I don't think anyone's clamoring for a Jey Uso versus Seth Rollins clinic. So like that's kind of where I said that. Like, what do we do with Gunther? I was actually thinking about this the other day. I actually want to see Gunther go over to SmackDown.
I think that would be better. I think Gunther going over to SmackDown and going after the WWE Championship would be a better.
Cody. Great.
Would be more fun at this point.
There's just so many people I want to see Seth Rollins go up against, and none of them are Jey Uso. CM Punk having that proper CM Punk one, Roman Reigns coming back, Drew McIntyre would be fun, kind of running that one back in like a real fashion. There's a lot that can happen with Seth, and just Jey Uso is not one of those guys.
I also think that Jay and Jimmy getting back together and maybe running it back with the New Day might be fun.
Yeah, that'd be fun, but they're also completely wasting the New Day too, to be honest.
I almost think that it would be like their rub to getting back in.
They had the perfect run. That you want to talk about great heel turns that actually made sense. The New Day did that in spades. It was awesome, and then they did nothing with them.
Nothing. That was another fumble.
But back to this match.
Showtime. This match. Let's get back to this match. This match was good. I felt like this entire card, though, the entire show, was to set up the end of this match.
I wouldn't say that. It was bookended by this match.
It was bookended by this. Like, a lot of this was really, really meant to the Becky stuff, the Roman stuff, just everything kind of led to this, which I'm not even disagreeing with. Like, I'm not disagreeing with that idea. I'm the one who thinks that a show should have a central theme that you should flow to it. I'm the guy who subscribes to Trey Parker and Matt Stone's idea that if you are doing a show and your words in between your scenes are, and then you have a crap show, it needs to be, this happened, therefore this happened. I'm the guy that believes that. And I'm not saying that it was wrong that they did it. I'm just saying that that's kind of what it felt like, was that they were slowly or not slowly, but they were sprinkling in that little bit of foreshadowing all throughout the show.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't think they did. Like, I didn't see that anywhere with the Street Profits and the Wyatt segment. I didn't get any of that indication from Becky and Nikki. I didn't really get anything from Sheamus, Rusev, or Cena and Logan Paul. It was just bookended by it. And it was bookended by it because there are people who are related in this situation. You have Roman and the Usos being kind of in the same corner. You have Bronson Reed with the Vision and Seth Rollins. So
hey, you called them by the wrong name. It is now the Seth Riders.
No, it's not that. I'm never going to say it. So
I saw that the other day. I thought it was a little funny.
And honestly, and not fair, because this is more exciting than
it's definitely more exciting than anything that other team has done.
So I do not subscribe or support that, and nor do I think it's funny. You've gone too far. The,
Oh, that was going too far.
too
That's
far.
where
Too
that's
far.
where we crossed the line.
You damn well did. The
You know what? Bonjour.
bonjour. The the one thing that I did like about this was I assumed that the match was going to start with a 3-on-1, and it didn't. And that was a cool kind of subvert expectation. They got to that spot later in the match, but that was a good way to kind of start this off by thinking they're all going to jump Seth, and then a super kick out of nowhere from CM Punk onto Jey Uso. It was a great spot. I think that they put LA Knight over pretty well in this match. Like, he had some like a dominant kind of run in this, but I still stand behind my comments when we were doing the predictions. Right now, I would bet that LA Knight is never world champion.
I don't see what they're going to do with him. And I'm not trying to say he's old, but I think he's in his 40s now. Like, he's starting to. We're at the point where you could probably have a good one last good run, but you'd have to tack it on pretty soon, I think.
I think his next, where I could see him going next is against Dominic Mysterio, but I don't see him being Dominic Mysterio. And if they go that route, say au revoir. So, I hate the obligatory, we have to go into the crowd fight. Let's go away from the ring and leave it open for somebody else to win the match when we weren't paying attention. Boo earns.
Boo earns.
So, but all in all, I mean, this match was fine. It was a good match. I enjoyed it. The Becky twist at the end was great. You knew something was going to happen. They telegraphed this one like crazy during that segment leading into this match. That, like, if by saying the words, if I can't defend this title myself, then do I even deserve it? Nothing says I'm not going to defend this more by myself than saying those words. So that was kind of the way I saw that coming out. I was like, something's coming. And we had been kind of predicting that Becky was going to join this faction because, honestly, it makes no sense that she's not already in it. Yeah. Like, if they're both heels, why wouldn't they help each other?
Yeah, and we're getting the obligatory now AJ Lee return, it seems.
100%. Well, right now, Triple H is all about the return. And, like, kind of just the hits. And
hashtag we want Cross.
That's not what I'm talking about, but that's okay. We do want Cross. But, like, the Nikki Bella being here, Cena's retirement tour, AJ Lee, all of the old people that they kind of come back in for a minute. I'm surprised Jeff Jarrett hasn't showed up. Not surprised on that, but just
he's still under contract.
No, I'm just kidding. And that's because he wanted to do his own retirement tour, and then that vanished.
And that lasted for 2 weeks.
It was like one match, that's it. Yeah. So, but all in all, this was a solid card. It was entertaining. Just wasn't anything special, and I would like to have seen something special in Paris. You know,
Paris.
Oh, Paris. Oui. And so that was Clash of Players, folks. Thanks again for joining us. Let us break this down. Do us a favor, right below. Tell us where we're right. Tell us where we're wrong. Like and subscribe. Tell a friend. If you don't have a friend, tell a stranger. And Steven,
as always, guys, remember, tuck your chin when you bump.